think that one of the biggest traps is that in our daily lives, everything can seem okay. We can tell ourselves that a lot of human rights violations and atrocities have happened in the past, and we're over that. And even when we know things are going on around us that aren't quite right, in each person's day-to-day life, they don't always become involved in those things. They're not part of it, or at least not as much as they can see. So I'm going to keep this video short and just give a couple of basic examples. It was only 70 to 80 years ago that the Holocaust happened in Nazi Germany. Now, people can debate the ins and outs of this situation, and we can analyze the real causes, but that's another thing. The fact is that things happened, and there were people put into these camps. Jews, gypsies, the elderly, the disabled, homosexuals. Just generally that people who wouldn't be seen to fit into this idea of the perfect human race. During this time, just one thing that happened were experiments, painful, debilitating experiments on gypsy children to change the color of their eyes from brown to blue. Because apparently, if it was possible to change certain people's eyes from brown to blue, not if you were a gypsy, but if you were a person who could fit in otherwise, then it would be seen as a good thing to do. That happened. And that happened because people were allowed to treat other people who were different in a very appalling way. And for the most part, it was the good citizens who went along with this, or at least ignored it, and a lot didn't stand up, didn't take the risk to help aid a Jew. And we think we're so far past that now, but it was very recent, and although we weren't personally there, it was human beings in that state at that time. It could happen again. Except now where we're moving forward to, we would be able to better identify and track down the people we don't like. We would have quicker, more efficient ways of ending their life. We would probably be more successful in experiments, although they would still often have horrendous causes. We'd probably test drugs on them and things, and attempt to manipulate their minds in certain ways. So it's possible it could happen again, and the signs are there, but we're doing what the good people of that time were doing, or most of us are, and we're ignoring it. Let's take another example, something also, this is undeniable, it's truth. There are certain plant substances, let's take for instance cannabis, that can help heal people from depression and being suicidal. And also help with physical illnesses, but if somebody chooses to grow this, they are now a criminal. They can be locked away and put into a cage. But if you're the head or someone in a corporation and your lack of care causes oil spills or extreme harm to jungles, if you take away from jungles like the Amazon, where many of these curing, healing plants, even ones we develop modern medicine from, are from, well, if you do anything like that, you just lose a bit on your paycheck. The organization gets a fine. But you've killed animals, you've made water toxic for people to drink, and because it's not you directly, you get away with it. So these are just some reminders that when you're taking a stand against something, an injustice, and injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. If you're taking a stand just for your little area, whether it's a woman, you want your right to abortion, or if you are someone who does need cannabis and you're taking that stand, whatever your stand is, so long as it's for your freedom and not treading on anyone else's toes, then you're not in the wrong. It's worth doing, but we kind of need to join every other movement for the cause of freedom, because if you neglect one then and another and then it's just you may regret that you turned your back on people who were actually on your side.